Hello, my fellow bean eaters. Today is a solemn day. After being apolitical since our inception in 1940, the National Bean Alliance, or NBA for short, will endorse a presidential candidate this year, and the announcement has fallen to me, your Secretary of Bean Affairs. This year, the Bean Nation must rally behind Biden. We believe he is the best candidate to represent the interests of the bean. He has never spoken publicly of beans because Biden recognizes one thing that President Trump does not. The realm of the bean and the realm of politics should not mingle nor overlap. There is only the national bean interest, and it should be subject not to partisan politics. Biden understands that. He will not attempt to shove his personal bean preference down the throats of Americans who yearn to embrace and munch on the plentiful varieties of beans which grace our great land. The president should know better than to get involved with things which he knows nothing about, namely something as complex as the politics which govern beans. Trump has never apologized for almost ending the tenuous bean truce with his thoughtless intrusion of federal power to prop up the bigly, major league failing Goya beans. A great previous president, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, first established this bean truce in 1940 because he painted the grimmest of pictures. He stressed that if the bean wars continued, then internal divisions would make America weak in the face of the sauerkraut and sushi eaters who would attempt to force their heathen superfoods on the American public. FDR united the bean eaters in America to promote the freedom of the bean both at home and abroad. Now, sadly, the beans which have come to define America are being threatened by President Trump and his affinity for the most non-American of snacks, the pierogies of Russia. Iconic brands like Van Camp's Beanie Weenies are now under siege from pierogies in a can. This is blasphemy. America has been a bean nation and will always be a bean nation, with the people united under the bean. We will not eat pierogies like the goddamn communists in the Soviet Union, although a hybrid bean pierogi could prove to be a bridge melding the two cultures. Another reason the Bean Nation supports Joe Biden is for the sake of America's bean farmers. The bean farmers are the foundation on which America's greatness is built. We did not win 2 world wars by having our people eat false superfoods. They were powered by beans. By September 2019, American bean farmers had exported $8.9 billion worth of beans. That figure in 2020 is an anemic $6.83 billion. Bean farmers around the nation are hurting, and we run the risk of losing generations of accumulated bean knowledge. If this were to happen, our bean yield per acre would drop dramatically, making it inevitable that we import beans. It would be a national humiliation. Lastly, there is the issue of the stimulus. President Trump and Republican senators have made it clear that they put more value on giving continuous bean outs to corporations rather than the American people who got a measly bean out, a one-time bean out of 1,200 beans. That isn't even a year's supply worth of beans. We believe that Biden will acknowledge his ignorance in regards to all things bean related and listen to the appropriate experts to best help the American people. We do not need the uninformed, the uninitiated, and the willfully ignorant determining something as vital as America's bean policy. For these reasons, the NBA is endorsing Biden. He may not be known for his consumption of beans, But at least he has the dignity to not try and masquerade as a bean connoisseur. Nor does he attempt to divide Americans by their bean preferences. But rather, he respects the right of Americans to determine their own bean consumption habits and what brands of beans they eat. In short, he represents a continuation of the thing that makes America great. Freedom. Freedom of beans specifically. May Biden be the bean president we deserve. All hail our next president, Biden the Bean Muncher. May Biden be the bean president we deserve. All hail our next president, Biden the Bean Muncher. Thank you.